Zpacks Duplex Classic. Imagine pitching your tent on a windy ridgeline, and it feels like you're inside a featherweight fortress. That's the Duplex Classic. Weighing under 20 ounces, this Dyneema-built marvel is so light it almost feels like cheating. But don't let the Featherlight stats fool you. This thing is tough. Dyneema fabric is more puncture-resistant than Silnylon and shrugs off water like a duck's back. Of course, with a single wall design, condensation can sneak in during colder nights or humid climates. But smart ventilation and strategic setup usually tame that beast. Some hikers worry about its trekking pole support system being fussy on uneven ground, but a quick adjustment usually solves it. Bonus? No need to carry extra poles. It's roomy for two, but solo hikers love it for the space-to-weight ratio. Think of it as your ultralight palace on the move. Big Agnes Tiger. Wall UL2. The Tiger Wall UL2 is like that friend who's down for every trip. Light, reliable, and surprisingly low maintenance. What makes this one stand out in 2025 is the updated pole structure that gives it more headroom without tipping the scale past 2.5 pounds. It's a semi-freestanding tent, which means it pitches faster than a single wall but still needs a few stakes to really feel solid. The ultralight materials do raise concerns about durability, especially the floor, but a footprint or some extra care during setup goes a long way. Big Agnes cleverly includes color-coded corners and pre-bent poles to make even the most impatient hiker feel like a pro. If you're trekking in buggy or humid environments, you'll appreciate the double wall structure that keeps condensation at bay. Nemo Hornet Elite Osmo. The Hornet Elite Osmo is what happens when ultralight meets ultra-innovative. The secret sauce here is the Osmo fabric, a proprietary blend that resists stretching when wet and dries faster than anything Nemo's ever used. That's a game changer on rainy trails, especially when your tent's shape actually matters for staying dry. It's a two-person tent, but let's call it cozy. Not cramped, but definitely cozy. Setup is a breeze thanks to its minimal pole design and intuitive clips. However, this tent demands a bit of patience with its small vestibules and narrower doors. The Elite Osmo version is lighter and more breathable than its predecessors, which makes it ideal for high-mileage backpackers who treat weight savings like a sacred art. If you're looking for ultralight without sacrificing double-wall comfort, this one should absolutely be on your shortlist. Durston X-Mid Pro 2. This tent has been making quiet waves. Well, not so quiet anymore. The Durston X-Mid Pro 2 has a cult following for good reason. It combines absurdly low weight with real-world livability. It pitches with 2 trekking poles and 4 stakes, forming a true rectangle, no weird angles or fabric sag. That geometry gives it a surprising amount of usable interior space and near vertical sidewalls, which is rare in ultralight tents. Sure, it's single wall, and condensation can still be an issue, but smart design and peak vents keep airflow surprisingly decent. The floor sits well off the walls, avoiding that dreaded wet footbox problem when condensation forms. The Dyneema construction is ultralight and waterproof, but again, it's not cheap. 6 Moon Designs Lunar Solo. Minimalists, listen up. The Lunar Solo is a love letter to simplicity. 1 trekking pole, 6 stakes, under 2 pounds. And yet, it gives you room to sit up, stretch out, and even stash your gear. The unique offset pole and asymmetrical shape feel weird at first glance, but once inside, it all makes sense. The slanted walls fight wind surprisingly well, and the awning-style vestibule provides solid protection without feeling claustrophobic. Of course, as a single wall shelter, it needs good site selection to manage moisture. But for the price, weight, and ease of use, this tent punches far above its class. It's often the first ultralight tent new backpackers try, and many never look back. It feels like that one trusted item in your pack that just never lets you down. Gossamer Gear The One. Ever wish your tent could be both ridiculously light and legitimately livable? Enter The One by Gossamer Gear. At barely over a pound, it's lighter than most sleeping bags and still manages to offer full coverage and decent headroom. Its single-wall design, paired with a generous vestibule, means you stay protected while still having a bit of elbow room. The pitch can take some practice, especially with non-adjustable poles, but once dialed in, it's rock solid. Some users have reported fabric tension quirks in high humidity, but careful guideline placement usually clears that up. It's a popular choice among Pacific Crest trail hikers for good reason. If your trail mantra is "every ounce counts," this tent fits your philosophy like a glove. Hyperlite Mountain Gear Ultamid 2. This one's not just a tent, it's a statement. The Ultamid 2 is a Dyneema-built pyramid shelter that redefines what ultralight can look like. It's designed for serious expeditions but used by solo hikers who crave space and strength. It requires a center pole or trekking poles lashed together, which might feel unusual at first, but the payoff is massive interior room and unbeatable wind resistance. It's a true four-season shelter at a fraction of traditional mountaineering weight. Ventilation takes some tinkering, especially in humid environments, but the modularity of adding an inner net or floor means you can customize it for any season. This is for hikers who think bigger, not heavier. If you want a do-it-all shelter that looks and performs like something out of a sci-fi movie, this is your match. Mountain Hardwear Nimbus UL2. The Nimbus UL2 is Mountain Hardwear's bold step into ultralight territory, and they nailed it. It's a double-wall tent that weighs around 2 pounds, with an intuitive setup that doesn't make you read the manual in the rain. The materials feel refined, not flimsy, and the pre-bent poles offer excellent headroom without sacrificing packability. One clever feature is the offset door placement, giving each sleeper their own exit path without crawling over gear. It's not the absolute lightest in this lineup, but it hits a sweet spot between comfort, durability, and weight. It feels like a real tent, not a fragile experiment, and for many backpackers, that peace of mind is worth a few extra ounces. It's the kind of shelter that lets you focus on the trail, not your gear. 3. UL Gear Lanshan 2 Pro. Hikers on a budget, your time has come. The Lanshan 2 Pro is proof that you don't have to spend a fortune to go ultralight. This Chinese-made tent has gained a massive following thanks to its sub-2-pound weight, decent space, and full protection, all at a fraction of the cost of competitors. It uses Silnylon instead of Dyneema, which makes it less water-repellent over time, but still durable with proper care. Ventilation is good, though condensation can be a challenge in wetter climates. It pitches with 2 trekking poles and a handful of stakes, and once mastered, the setup becomes second nature. It's not perfect, but it's perfect for many. If you're stepping into the ultralight world for the first time, this tent could be your gateway without draining your bank account. LightHeart Gear Duo Silnylon Tent. If you ever wished for a tent that balances ultralight sensibility with roomy comfort, something that feels more like a backcountry cabin than a tight cocoon, the LightHeart Gear Duo Silnylon tent might be your dream shelter. It's one of the most spacious tents in the ultralight category, offering an incredible 45 inches of headroom and a true rectangular floor plan, which means no more awkward diagonals or cramped corners. Designed for 2 but beloved by solo hikers who want space to stretch, the Duo delivers excellent ventilation through its dual vestibules and mesh walls, keeping condensation surprisingly well managed for a Silnylon structure. If this video helped you discover your next shelter, make sure to hit that like button so more adventurers can find it too. Drop a comment below and let us know which tent you're eyeing. Or if you're already out there with one of these, share your experience. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss the gear insights that can change the way you hike. Stay safe, hike smart, and remember, the trail is lighter than you think, if you pack it right.